So viewer discretion is advised. So let's get into it. From age 3 to 10, the sexual assault, the grooming, and brainwashing occurred. Since I can remember, Josie Gavez was sexually assaulting me by touching me on my vagina, rubbing my vagina or clit, and also by fingering me. One of my first memories is being in a changing table, getting changed by Josie Gavez, and him sexually assaulting me by rubbing my vagina and clitoris. Not being able to walk, move, talk, because how young I was. And it only got worse as I grew. The moment I could walk and talk, not even talk, just walk, Josie Gavez started doing more frequently. He would do it in the living room while I was watching TV, playing with toys, waiting to be fed. He would also do it constantly at night, every night. He would come in my room, take off my blanket, take off my pants, my diaper, or pull up at the time. Spread open my legs until they were to the splits and eat me out while touching my stomach and my non-existent tits. He was able to bathe me, change me, do everything a parent's supposed to do, but meanwhile, while he was doing those actions, he was sexually assaulting me by rubbing my vagina or eating me out and fingering me. Josie Gavez would stay up at night and whisper my name, Alysha, 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 Alysha. Anytime he would see me walk to the bathroom, to the point where I just wouldn't leave my room at night. But even then, if I didn't leave my room or didn't follow, he would aggressively follow me back to my room and forcefully sexually assault me. Ripping down my pants, ripping down my diaper, forcefully putting me on the bed, forcefully putting my legs spread wide open, and forcefully putting his mouth on my vagina while holding his hands on my non-existent tits. And this was every night. He would also, during the daytime, sexually assault me while I was watching TV on the couch, playing with my toys, dolls, or just vibing in the living room, trying to hang out. He would sexually assault me on the couch by putting his hands down my pants and touching my clitoris and rubbing my vagina or fingering me. Marianne Marie Morley and Josie Gavez normalized this behavior throughout my whole childhood because how frequent and constant the sexual assault was happening and the way he would act around people with me was acting like we were in a relationship. Me and Marianne Morley would fight over Joe on the couch constantly, and I would call him Daddy Joe at the time. That's what I called him, inappropriately. There's times where Marianne has walked in on the act of Joe sexually assaulting me in the living room. She was standing in the archway farthest to the door. Closest to the door. Watching Joe sexually assault me by putting his hands down my pants. And sometimes my pants would even be off. And nothing would be on, I'd just be butt naked. And she would just watch while he sexually assaults me by rubbing my vagina, talking to me sexually while doing it, asking me if I liked it. While she was just standing there observing, didn't seek me help, didn't care, used me for her own personal gain. There's times where she's walked in on the act where he was supposedly reading me a bedtime story. Meanwhile, she walks in finding him head first in my vagina, holding my imaginary tits. Because I did not have tits back then as a child. And she would just watch observing and then walk away. There's times where she's literally took down my sticky notes, because I would put sticky notes around the house multiple times, and she would take them down every single time and do nothing. They were pointing directly towards my room saying, "For Joe." That's how normalized I thought it was. Normalized they made me feel like it was. Marianne Marie Morley would get high off his supply. Same with Joe. They would always be high. Every day they would get high, and then he would sexually assault me. Off of crack cocaine, weed, alcohol. And the only time that he lost interest in me is after age 10, when I started hitting puberty. There's times when Marianne would be in the same bed as me and Josie Gavez, while he was sexually assaulting me right beside her by touching me under my pajamas or diaper, depending on which one I had on. And she did nothing, which made it feel like it was normal. The way he would act around my friends, there's times where he would try to come on to me while my friend was over. She would be standing in the doorway and he would be on the bed, so I would have to go ask to go out or do something with her, and he would try to come on to me while she was standing in the doorway, trying to kiss me on the neck, trying to pull me into bed with him, say my name sexually. The way he would hold me in public. He would hold my vagina on purpose while picking me up. And carrying me very inappropriately, by bouncing me inappropriately and touching me by groping my non-existent tits and my ass. Josie Gavaz was the main caretaker. Without him, Marianne made it seem like we would be on the streets, like he was the only lifeline. She did not tell me about my disabilities. She didn't tell me that I was getting money for me. She was using all that money for her alcohol, her drug addiction. Most nights I wouldn't even be fed because they would be too busy getting high and drunk. It made me feel like I was less than. Like my only purpose was for Josie Gavaz. Brainwashed my brain to believe that I was normal and okay, and that what he was doing wasn't wrong until my older adulthood. And most days Marianne would be in the back room getting high, not caring what Josie Gavaz was doing to me. Because meanwhile, she was observing and getting high in the back room. I was getting sexually assaulted and groomed.